Many centuries ago, the Romans started something that we even use today. They would plant stone columns all along the roads that they built, and the Romans were well known for their roads. And those stone columns would be markers to indicate the distance and regular intervals of the destination to which people were going. Well, we now call them mileposts. And we see them all along our interstate, where regularly we can see how far we have traveled from the state line. Mileposts. Do you know that God has mileposts even in the Bible? He has placed those events there to give us direction, to tell us how we are moving along in our journey of history to the destination that He has in mind for us. In 1920, they planted a milepost just south of the White House in Washington, D.C., so that you could measure the distance anywhere in the United States starting from the White House. God's zero milepost is Genesis 3 verse 15, where early on, when sin came into this world, and destruction and sorrow and sadness, God placed a prophetic promise there as a milepost, where He said that Satan will be crushed, that the Son of God, the seed of the woman, will overcome the evil one. And so with that milepost there, as if it is the zero milepost, there was several more of those prophetic mileposts that God planted throughout history, talking about coming Messiah, pointing to the cross of Calvary. And those mileposts have helped people through the centuries to know that there is direction, there is purpose. We are heading towards somewhere where we have a sure destiny. And since Calvary, the mileposts have continued, where the events of history have matched with God's prophetic mileposts to tell us that we have a destiny. And this destiny is the New Jerusalem. We're on that journey. And Jesus said in Luke 21, He said, when you see these things happening, know that your destiny is sure. Isn't it a great relief to know that God is in charge of history? Somebody said history and prophecy is the same thing, where history actually shows us through the story of the flow of time how that God's beacons, His mileposts, are real, are true, and we can rely on them, giving purpose to our lives. And the more knowledge of those prophetic mileposts that we acquire, the more security we have in where we are going. That's why we should read the Bible. That's why we should watch and see around us how the things are happening that point to a destiny. That's why we should live within the assurance that God has a purpose for our lives. Remember, Jesus is your beacon. Always allow Him to show you the way. If you'd like to know more of the Fletcher Seventh-day Adventist Church, you can go to our website at www.fletchersda.org. Our purpose is to lift Jesus up and to love people in. Thank you for watching.